Now, there's one thing we can be really proud of and one thing we could be really ashamed of. The thing we can be proud about is that the world's biggest stadium is located here in Prague. It's called Strahov Stadium. It's a place where you can see me right now. And the capacity of this place is unbelievable, 280,000 people. Now, the sad part of the story is that this whole place is falling apart. Now you might ask, what in the world is the reason to build such a magnificent structure with capacity of 280,000 people? Well, it was helping to build Czechoslovak national spirit. The temporary version of the stadium for the first time opened in year 1926, and actually the biggest gatherings in here happened in year 1938, when all Czechs gathered here to show their resistance against Hitler and against Nazi Germany that was threatening Czechoslovakia in that time. Later on, especially during communism, the stadium was remodeled around year 1975, and they started using it for huge propaganda gatherings. Because this is one of the biggest stadiums in our country, quite a lot of important concerts took place here as well. Now, here's one interesting list. It was in year 1990 and year 95 when Rolling Stones played here, and actually those concerts were one of the biggest in their career. It was in year 1990 when 100,000 people came in to see the concert, and then in year 95 it was already 127,000 people. Then in year 1992 it was Guns N' Roses with 60,000 people on it. Then in year 93 it was Bon Jovi. Pink Floyd played here in year 1994 with 115,000 people on it. Then let's say it was U2 in year 97 with 75,000 people. Then in year 2001 AC/DC with 25,000 people on it. And the last big name which played on this concert was in year 2002. It was Ozzy Osbourne with 30,000 people. The future of this stadium is actually very unclear because nobody knows what to do with it right now. It's literally falling apart because it needs a major investment, but nobody want to pour any more money into that because, I mean, what would you do with a stadium with capacity of 280,000 people? So the government's actually facing two possible options. One is really to find an investor who's going to pour some money into that to fix it, or to take the entire stadium down. Did you know that Prague in the medieval ages was called the city of wine? Charles IV was a great lover and supporter of winemaking. It was during his reign when all empty hills around Prague were quickly turned into vineyards, and Czech wine became as famous as French wines or Italian wines. But then came the rough times. In upcoming centuries, quite a lot of wars came into our country, and a huge number of vineyards was badly damaged. Unfortunately, Czech winemaking tradition never fully recovered. Right now, Prague has in total 8 vineyards. One of the most centrally located ones is this vineyard where we are right now, called Grabovka. Say that inside of this monastery is hidden one of the biggest treasures that our country has. This building behind me is called Loreta. It was constructed in 17th century and it quickly became a very popular pilgrimage place nearby Prague Castle. Because of its popularity, quite a lot of noble families donated a huge amount of money to this monastery. Therefore, it became quickly very, very wealthy. Kolovrat noble family was one of the most powerful noble families in our country in 17th century. They decided at the end of that century to donate to this monastery quite an unusual gift. Ludmila Eva Kolovrat, a noble lady from that family, in her last will dedicated to this monastery her wedding dress. Now, you might ask what in the world they'll be doing with the wedding dress in a monastery. Of course, there was something special about it, and that was that the wedding dress was covered in diamonds. They simply took the diamonds and turned it into Monstrance, which you can see on this picture. They quickly named it Prague Sun, or just simply Diamond Monstrance, and it actually remains one of the most valuable items that our national treasure contains. So if you'll be wandering around Prague Castle, this is a place you should definitely put on your list. Not just because of the treasury room, even though I would say that you've probably never seen so many diamonds together, which already is a good reason to check out this place, but also because of many other amazing items that they have in their treasure. So you should check this place out. Over the centuries was quite a lot suffering from floods. Therefore, the level of the city was couple times risen up, in average from 2 up to 4 meters at some places. Just to show the example, right now I'm standing in one of the old Gothic cellars in a beer museum, which is located just a few steps from the Old Town Square, where you can literally see where the original street level was, because right now this is actually the bottom of the cellar. And right behind me, you can see the original Gothic windows of this building.